Medina has seen many changes over the years. Some changes inspired by forward thinking and progressive vision. Other changes were set into motion as a response to incidents beyond anyone's control. No part of our city has been more emblematic of Medina's ability to rise from the ashes than our square, the centerpiece of the gem that is Medina. The refinement of the beauty that we now witness in the heart of Medina has been tempered by its trials. In the year 1900, Medina Square was buzzing with progress against the backdrop of the Uptown Park. Like a forest in the center of a bustling business area, huge elm trees planted during the Civil War became a beloved feature. But in the 1960s, all of these towering elm trees died. They died of Dutch elm disease, a fungus spread by the elm bark beetle. Turning the clock forward to today, we see an uptown park that is more beautiful and functional than ever. It is still the focal point of Medina and the center of activity. Through the practice of well-managed forestry, we have recovered from the scars of Dutch elm disease. End of story, right? Wrong. The fungus spread by the elm bark beetle is thought to have originated in Asia. And since the Dutch elm disease, we have experienced many cycles of introduced menaces to our environment. As trade with other countries increases, we are seeing that the intended product isn't all that is being delivered in these transactions. Within the wood of shipping crates exported from Asia, we have inherited the latest scourge upon our native tree species, the emerald ash borer. The possible impact of this beetle is the loss of all of Medina's ash trees. Not some, not most, all. To understand more about the emerald ash borer, let's look at its natural history. The native range of this beetle is China, Korea, Russia, Japan, and Mongolia. Something that most people are unaware of is that we share many kinds of trees in common with Asia and Russia. And in this case, ash trees. Oddly enough, the emerald ash borer does not have the same devastating effect on the ash trees in its native range as we are experiencing here in the United States. In Asia and Russia, the emerald ash borer population is brought into balance by small wasps that lay eggs inside the beetle. As the young wasp develops, they consume their host. Here in the United States, ash borers have no predators, and the population logarithms out of control, leaving destruction in its wake. Some American cities are introducing these Asian wasps to try to control the emerald ash borer. But if we look back on our history of introducing species, it has created problems that have in some cases become greater than the problems that they were brought in to control. This is the emerald ash borer, a small metallic green beetle. The adult phase for the male lasts about 1 month, and the female adult phase is around 2 months. They consume the leaves of the ash tree to sustain them through this period of their lives. But the eating of the leaves is not where the damage is done. After mating, the female lays her eggs in the crack of the bark on the tree. An adult female usually lays 55 to 100 eggs in her life. After about 2 weeks, the eggs hatch and the larvae tunnel through the bark to the cambial layer where they feed on the phloem. Phloem is a thin layer of tissue beneath the outer bark that conducts sugars and other nutrients throughout the tree. The larvae spend the winter feeding on the phloem, leaving serpentine S-shaped marks on the outer sapwood under the bark. The larval period can last from 1 to 2 years. During April and May of the next year, The overwintering mature larva will pupate inside of the pupation cells and gradually transform into adults. After 1 or 2 weeks, these new adults chew D-shaped exit holes in the bark and emerge from the ash trees. Adult emergence starts in late May and peaks in June. However, some adults may continue to emerge throughout the summer. Now that we have looked at the problem, let's look at the solutions. As much as we regret the emerald ash borer situation, we see this as an opportunity to further diversify the tree population in our city. This will give us a better chance to withstand species-specific issues. We also have old trees that are posing on electric and utility lines. Now, trees that are better suited for certain situations can be planted. There are many practical and beautiful options. Our goal is to remain a tree city. We understand the value of having well-managed city forestry. Please don't be alarmed if you see city workers taking down the trees in your tree lawn. This is only the first step towards replacing the trees with new trees that are better suited for your tree lawn or public spaces. We are here to meet this problem with solutions that the whole community can be proud of.